Hi, my name's Hannah Homa. I am a super senior. It's my 5th year at Northern. I'm a social work major and a human behaviors minor.
Nichols. I'm an integrated science secondary education major. This is about my 7th year in college because I'm going for another certification. Elementary school, I went to a Class D school, so I think I had about 100 people in my graduating class at that point in time.
Okay, the first question I have for you is, did you enjoy literacy in your elementary education?
I would say that I did. Growing up, my family's always been really into reading, so I'd always been read books before going to bed or all of that stuff. So I always really enjoyed reading.
I definitely enjoyed parts of it, but not all of
I
it.
enjoyed reading in elementary school. The AR program was my jam until high school, and then I just kind of stopped reading.
In elementary school, I didn't particularly really enjoy literacy. I was more interested in other subjects like science and math-based ones.
I was actually just thinking about this the other day because one of the book fair trucks drove by me on the road. I liked elementary literacy when it was books that I liked. I didn't like reading books I didn't want to read. I liked reading books I wanted to read. So it was all about tornadoes and boats and other things like that. And when they made me learn about other things, I wasn't so fond about it. However, I did a fair amount of reading because I wanted to learn. So I did enjoy literacy for the most part in elementary school.
Good. The second question I have for you is, do you remember any specific time where any of your teachers used the local community in any sort of lessons or activities?
There was a lady from the community. She was Chinese, and she always came into our classroom and did it was a couple times a school year. She would come in and she would teach us about her culture and different things that they did, and she taught us how to use chopsticks, and she taught us origami and read us books that she read when she was a child. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool because I lived in such a small town. There wasn't a lot of diversity, so getting to have somebody that was different than me come into the classroom and teach me a little bit about what they do, I thought that was really cool.
We didn't really do any. Well, we had field trips, but not really related to people in our community because we had kind of a small community and not a lot going on. So
So one of the things that was kind of neat is we got to go on some of these field trips. It was really focused around the area, being the copper country. Since it had such a rich history, we got to go to a couple museums where it showed some of the old trains, and also the Calumet Theater, because that was around since the mining days. So just little tours of places like that, which was really kind of neat.
Well, 3rd grade is still in elementary school, and in 3rd grade, my science class, we actually went out and trapped crayfish from a local pond, and then we kept the crayfish alive by feeding them minnows, and we observed them for a period of about a month, and then we went and released them into the river. So that was one way we used local areas.
And the last question I have for you is, if you were back in elementary school, can you think of any other ways you would want the community involved in your classroom?
My town is a really small town that was built because of all the iron and the mining. It was a booming mining town back in whenever. So a lot of the history of the town is based around that. It's called Iron River because they were mining iron ore. So there's a lot of history in our town that is revolved around the mining industry. So we went to the museum and stuff like that to learn like a little bit about the things that were there, but I kind of wish that they would have done some type of unit to come in and teach us more about like our town's history, because we only learned the certain things that we did at the museum, but there wasn't actually something in the classroom that was geared towards like where we're from.
I think it would have been cool to have more community involvement where younger kids talk to people who experienced historically significant things. So like when I was in elementary school, World War II veterans were still, I wouldn't say in abundance, but there was a good amount of them, and it would have been cool to have, you know, little kids actually talk to a vet about, you know, what their experiences were, as opposed to just reading about it in books or whatever.
We never really had any engineering exposure when I was in school, so I guess it would have helped me decide this is what I wanted to do earlier. I could see what engineers do.
I wish we would have just like been able to read more about the city I was from, or just like look at maps and stuff like that and combine it. Just because I like do come from a city that has a lot of rich history that I like don't know anything about, so it would have been nice to
One
learn
thing that
more
would have been
about
kind of cool is if they would have brought in professionals from different areas into the school to explain to students their job and the kind of things that they do. I feel like it'd get students more involved in the community and an idea of what they want to do after they grow up.
But I think it is definitely a way to bridge generations where younger kids and older generations can actually connect through the curriculum, so that it's not, oh, this happened in a book. That's the only place it happened in a book, because half these kids haven't, you know, seen anything like that, but then they realize it's actually happened to some of these people.